What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Trooper Transmission. And today I got my man Kason Slack here to break down everything Fit Nerd Academy and his experience. So, Kason, thanks for the time, man.
Yep, of course.
Right on. So, let's dial it on back to summer 2023. What was going on? You see a dude in a clone trooper helmet. I could see on the flags in the background you like Star Wars. So, what inspired you to join the ranks of the troopers?
So let me see. Yeah, summer of this year, I was just coming off of recovering from having a surgery done on my shoulder. With all that, I did like no working out within basically in almost a whole year. So, and then with my job, because I'm military, so a lot of heavy lifting involved with doing combat type stuff. So yeah, I'm just tired of feeling weak and I want to get back into stuff and just browse through Instagram or YouTube one day, end up coming across the troop transmission. And I said, hey, that's cool. I'll look into it. A couple weeks later, a post went up about the whole Trooper Academy thing. So I decided, hey, I'm looking for a reason, something to help push me to actually go to the gym more, eat better. So this might be it. So here we are now.
Yeah, here we are now. And so you joined, and was there any concern on your end? Because talk a little bit about the goals that you had. And I know a lot of guys, want to get bigger, struggle to get bigger. You've been very successful adding on size. So just curious, any concerns you had initially, or any uh, maybe preconceived notions you had?
My biggest thing was definitely like one, I've never done anything with a trainer before, so I wasn't sure how it really worked. Two, with it being totally online, like no physical contact, none of that, it seemed a little sketchy to me at first. So that's what that those are definitely thoughts I had, but looking more into it, kind of those thoughts dissipated for the most part. Of
Yeah.
course, the natural anxieties are still there, but that's unavoidable.
Yeah, you just push through fear and come out on the other side. What then, if anything, had you say, "Oh, okay, this isn't a scam." Obviously, we're across the country, but it's it's not a scam. Hopefully, you don't think.
Yeah,
So, what was it? Just spending time with the community and like going through things after a few weeks, or like what was there anything particular?
pretty much like how I mentioned the whole sketch thing about it all being online. I basically just went and looked through, previous posts from like within the last year on both Instagram, YouTube, and it all seemed pretty legit. A lot of people seemed really genuine. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm just overthinking it.
Yeah. And you're smart too to do your due diligence because there are plenty of ways to get yourself into trouble online.
Oh yeah.
So then you go through it. What were some of the things you realized right away? You were like, oh, like I've been doing it maybe wrong or didn't realize what I was doing, and now it's starting to click. Like, what would you say like are a couple things that you've learned or experienced?
I'll say my two biggest things were an actual exercise plan. I kind of just go in and just pick, okay, I'll just do something that's boosts this muscle group. And even then, I wasn't entirely sure I knew exactly what I was doing. So that was one. And two, eating. Because someone like me with high metabolism, that's always been one of my biggest issues with weight gain is it seemed like no matter how much I was eating, I wasn't gaining anything. But then once I started tracking it, I started paying attention more, then yeah, things started. Once things got more consistent with my daily diet, then that's when I started noticing, okay, this is actually working.
Yeah. What would you say for anyone trying to add size? Like, what are your three keys to success, or maybe something that you would tell yourself a year ago, where it's like, hey, dude, just do these three things, and you'll be really successful.
Definitely consistency is a big one. Even now, I still have issues sometimes. There's days I still miss my calorie requirements. There's days that I miss some of the workouts, but I always try to make up for it with those following days. I was trying to just plus up to kind of make up for the days that I miss.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
consistency is number one for sure.
How curious then, how has your either definition or how you view consistency changed in the last year?
Cause the way I look at it is like, let me see, it's a good analogy for that. Right, you're shooting at a target, right? A consistent shot group is what you want. Okay, but that consistent shot group does mean, okay, you're hitting the same hole, the same point on that target every single time, but you're hitting near every single time. So all those are grouped really close together.
Mm.
So if I had to make an image of consistency, that's what it is something similar to tight shot groupings.
That's a really good analogy because I could see people thinking that they're being consistent because they're simply just pulling the trigger, but it's also like where you're aiming and actually having a target to allow that action of maybe going to the gym. You're like, oh, I've been going to the gym, I'm being consistent, but it's like, dude, you're nowhere near on target. That's kind of
Mhm.
like a way to maybe build off that. I like the shot grouping analogy though. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Number two, then.
Let's see. Number two. What's the word I'm looking for with it? Blanking on the word I had in my head, but just doing it. Like that's a big issue that I've had with so many things in the past is I overthink. Even now, I overthink everything.
Mm,
But it's one of those things like you can't think about it because when you start thinking about it more, especially something as simple as just going to the gym, when you start overthinking that, you start unconsciously giving yourself excuses not to go.
yeah. So just in
So
almost like a action taking, just almost indexing, over indexing for just take action. Like shoot first, like Han Solo, like shoot first, ask questions later, kind of just go do it and be like, okay, don't overthink
pretty
it.
much, like to a degree, like yeah, still think about it. Just realize what your target are. Positive identification on what you're doing first, and then engage.
Yeah,
Any more thinking than that, and that's going to screw you over.
yeah,
Because again, analogy wise, again, military with combat stuff, where you're with clearing rooms and stuff. If you just go in and you start thinking about every little thing, you're going to get screwed over. Go in, get positive identification, like, cool, is this dude a threat to me or not? And then from that quick decision, decide, okay, do I pull the trigger or no? Simple as that.
yeah, dude. I love these. No one's ever broke it down this way. This is awesome. If you had to go with the third one, number three, what are you breaking down?
Let me see. What would be a good number three? Because really, it was just those two I had in my head.
You talked about nutrition previously. Like, is there anything that you've made an adjustment on there?
Um, Nothing that I haven't really said already now. Like, just eating more has been difficult for me, but I've just been doing it. I've been forcing myself to because I know I have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
which
so
that, so yeah,
consistent.
which that
Yeah,
kind of goes to number two.
yeah. Just be
I think,
consistent and do it. I
yeah,
mean, that's how it's all boils down to at the end of the day.
I think three would be motivation, because even with it, you identify what your goal is, and then you go in and execute. Motivation makes a difference on how well that's executed. Because I can say, okay, I'm going to go to the gym today, and I can half-ass the hell out of it
Mm,
and barely do anything, or just cut exercises short just because, oh, I'm not feeling it today. But with
yeah.
that
Like,
motivation, it's like, all right, cool. I want to do this right. Okay, I want to go up more in reps. I want to go up more in weights. Without motivation, you're not going to make any improvement whatsoever.
what's driving that motivation for you?
For me, the big thing is like, yeah, I just want to be stronger. I'm be more capable within my occupation.
Yeah, yeah. So it
Because
is huge.
yeah, because the way I see it is if I'm not capable, then with me trying to be a leader, I'm not going to look like a good leader. I'm look like I weaseled my way up there.
Mm,
I just talk to the right people, stuff like that, which I'm
yeah,
trying to show like, hey, I've worked for what I have.
dude, I love that. Just the leading the way through action and how you go about it in the gym is, in my belief, how you go about everything.
100%.
Right on.
Because something as similar just with the gym stuff. Like, of course, it's already been mentioned, like, hey, I'm gaining weight, I'm building muscle. That was what I wanted. What I didn't even consider coming into this that has unconsciously happened through just a few months I've been doing this is my confidence. Like, in myself has gone way up. Totally unexpected, but yeah, a lot more confident in myself as a person and in my abilities now than I was in the past.
Yeah, and that's just through feeling capable, keeping commitments that you make, pretty much.
Pretty much just like that.
Right on, dude. Awesome, man. Dude, thank you for the time. And I'm pumped to see how much more size you add on and just to see where you're at 6 months, 9 months from now. Cause dude, you're gonna be a monster and you got the good mentality for it.